What's up, guys? Mike here from Cali Wood Connect. Today I'll be assembling a Guitar Kits World guitar. I bought this kit off of their website. Really nice kit, very clean work. The neck work is phenomenal. Uh, the body of the guitar is really clean. It needed minimal work to get it ready to actually do any like coating layers or color layers or finish layers on it. Honestly, I'm really stoked with this kit, and I'll definitely be ordering more from them. This kit was a gold kit, but we're going to change that out. I had some extra chrome hardware and pickup sitting on the shelf, so with the color scheme that I decided to do with this particular build, we're going to do the chrome. And stick around so you guys could see the actual build. Basically, here I already got it stained black. That's going to be the bottom coating. We're going to sand down. You could see me sanding down by hand over here. It's quite an intricate process, and it does take a little long time. So just keep sanding. You got to take off as much material as possible. Here I actually have half of it already dyed red. I started the camera a little bit late. Basically, I try to bring out as much of the wood color as possible without taking out all the black, and that will give us a nice base black color where you could get that marbled effect after when you add the red pigments. I've been using the StuMac pigments for a really long time, and they're pretty expensive, but it's definitely worth your money. They get really good coverage, and they last a really long time for being so small. Very concentrated stuff. I really love it, and if you guys are planning on doing this yourself, you should definitely give that a shot. So here I'm probably mixing the color to get a little bit darker, and I'm gonna put another coating over this existing one, and from there on we'll pretty much let that front end dry for a day or two before we could do any more finishing or oiling to seal the top coat. Again, you just want to liberally apply it on there. I try to avoid getting any to drip into the bare wood areas. I like keeping that clean because we'll be copper coating or copper taping those before we do the final assembly of the guitar. So just take your time and just color the areas that you actually need to without coloring anything unnecessary. Here I'm scraping the bindings. I know they sell tools for this. I don't like the tools. It's really straightforward stuff. I use an X-Acto knife, just the tip of it, and I slowly start scraping away the material. You could always try to mask these bindings, but somehow the water is really thin and it gets up on it anyway. So lately when I've been doing my builds, I don't even take the time to actually tape off these bindings, and instead I will just scrape them off after the stain has dried so it doesn't get back on it or anything. And I've been having really good results with it. Occasionally you might nick the wooden surfaces, but you can always just go over that with a light sandpaper and some more color pigment and actually close that out where you can't even tell what happened there. So just take your time with this.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it.
I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
and clean. I did have some scrape lines on my wood, so you'll be seeing me going over that with some black dye, just to cover up my scratches or anywhere I might have removed that pigment off. And I just take my time and I do it carefully so I don't get onto the binding anymore. But if you do get on the binding just a little bit, all you could simply and easily clean that off with some water and a towel by just going over the edges lightly. And now that you've actually scraped the binding, it should be nice and smooth, so you won't have any scratch marks or anything holding the actual pigment in there. For the neck, I basically used the same method with the X-Acto knife, and I scraped away all the colors on there and cleaned off any scratches that there might have been before even starting any of this. And it's really simple and quick to do it that way. So here we are already going to start gluing the neck down. I like to use Tite Bond 3. This is a little melamine board that I have. It's actually plastic. I'm not sure if this is called melamine or not, but it's pretty solid and smooth. I'll use that on the back side. I'll use a little popsicle stick to actually glue down or spread around the glue, and probably 2 clamps would be good enough for it to hold it nice and tight when you actually glue the neck down. So I'll just start by putting the glue in the bottom, and I'll move that around with the popsicle stick just to get all the surfaces covered. I usually put minimal amount of glue on the actual neck because when you press down, it comes out, and you either got to clean it up or it might just stay on your stained top and you won't have equal finish on the areas that you got glue on. So I try to put the perfect amount just to make sure I don't have any spread out or anything gushing out that's gonna compromise the finish of the look of this guitar. We're getting down to the copper shielding. What I like to do is cut pieces out. I use the tip of my fingernail to actually mark it down, and then I'll trim it with some scissors and put down the pieces. I like doing little parts at a time. For the front pickup cavities, I normally use one full strip. I put the bottoms down, and then I'll cut the tape sideways in half to do all the walls, the side walls of the pickup cavities. It works perfectly, especially for Les Pauls. It seems to be the perfect size. So here you'll see me fast forwarding and quickly finishing off the copper taping for the front pickup cavities. Then we'll turn it back to the back for the pot cavities and the selector switch. Stay tuned, guys, and we'll be back shortly with some more descriptions. Alright guys, so here you see me running the wiring through. I start from the bottom up. This is basically the wires that are going up to the selector switch. You could probably tape the tips. What I normally do is I just twist the tops, and that gives me enough of a straight edge to just push all the way through. You do have to take some of the copper shielding out. I usually cut them with the X-Acto knife again, and I just tuck them under. It gives more shielding in places that you probably couldn't have reached anyway. Basically, you just run that wire up from the back cavity to the bridge pickup cavity to the neck cavity and into the selector switch cavity. So here you see me already twisting the tops to push it to the selector switch cavity. The cool thing about the Guitar Kits World guitars are that the actual pots and stuff come pretty much already soldered and wired together, so you don't have to spend the time putting them together yourself or figuring it out. There is a minimal amount of actual soldering required. I've worked with a lot of kits before where you have to put all the wiring and pots together, which could be pretty fun, but it could also be pretty challenging if you don't know what you're doing. So do keep that in mind whenever you're ordering a kit, that these actual pots come soldered as much as it possibly can, because you can't have them fully soldered, as you would have to run the switches and stuff and they won't go through the cavities. For the actual selector switch, there is pretty much 4 wires that you need to connect. One is a ground on the actual switch. One goes to the top part of the switch, which would be the neck selector part. There's another wire that goes in the center, which would be for both the neck and the bridge. And then there's one wire that goes in the bottom, which would be for the bridge. It's pretty straightforward, and there's plenty of wiring diagrams online, and also more tutorials for Guitar Kit Worlds of people covering this in further depth. So here you have it. Basically, the black wire is the ground. The yellow wire is the top wire, which would go to the neck pickup. The red wire is for the bridge. And then there's another wire, the leftover wire, which gets connected to the center, which operates both the neck and the bridge together. Alright guys, now that we got a portion of the wiring done, I usually like to do my coatings. If I'm gonna do like a oil-based coating, I'll do it around these stages. I've done a lot of clear coats and like full epoxy coats where I'll coat everything, color sand, polish, and then actually go ahead and start doing these assembly stuff. But since we're gonna oil it and it doesn't require color sanding or polishing after, this is probably the best time to do your coating. Using Rubio monocoat over here. We use it a lot on our epoxy river tables, and it's a really good one-step coating. It comes with 2 parts. It has an accelerator. It cures usually in 24 hours, and it's ready for heavy use within a week. And besides that coverage, it has really good protection as far as like water damage or anything that you could probably get on it on wood. So Rubio monocoat, pretty good stuff. We're not endorsed by them or anything, but we have been using them for a little while, and we've had really nice successful results. And not to mention that it makes the actual finish coat so much easier than varnish or anything, as it does apply on fairly easy. One thing I really do love about this is that you could use very little amount of it. We're used to mixing 1 to 2 ounces at a time, so we did mix a lot, and we ended up having a lot left over. But luckily, we did have a river table we were working on where we were able to actually finish that project with the same amount of Rubio monocoat that we mixed for this guitar. So here you see me spreading around with the little spatula, and I try to get it as thick as possible originally, and then I'll use my fingers to push it in all the nooks and crannies. And we let it sit for about 5-10 minutes, and then we just wipe it off. They do claim that you can't have too little of it, but you can have too much of it. So just wipe off as much of it as you possibly can, and you should be good to go. Now that we got the back all dried up and wiped off, we put some on the front. Let it sit for another 5-10 minutes, and we're just gonna wipe it off. Like I said, you want to wipe off as much of it as possible. You really can't take too much off of it. Um, it soaks in incredibly nice. Honestly, like this is one of the best actual finishes that we've used as far as simplicity and protection goes. Here you see me putting on the actual pots and tightening them down. Just gonna fast forward this. They're very straightforward stuff. Basically, I'm gonna be putting the whole guitar together. I already got the selector switch mounted and bolted up. It's just one nut with the little base plate that it comes with. Like I said, this kit literally comes with every single thing you need other than the staining and finishing and sandpapers and things like that and copper taping. But those are all things that you could easily obtain from Amazon. And I'm going to start speeding up the video so we could see how this build gets together. Alright, guys, hope the suspenseful, scary music didn't scare you too much, but I just wanted to get back on the mic real quick just to show you guys and tell you that you do need to run a ground wire through one of the cavities, which is in that right nut that I just pushed in. My right, your left. You do want that to have contact with the metal. So right now I'm putting down the actual mounting hardware for the bridge, and I lightly hand push that in. I'll use a little 2x4 coated with some saran wrap. I'll press it down as much as I can with my hands, and then I'll hammer the rest of it in. Here I'm drilling the pilot holes. for the pickups. I basically put them in and I hold them, I move them left and right, up and down, to a point where I know there's no pressure on the pickups. I'm using a drill bit, a very thin one, a little bit thinner than the actual screws. Um, I've been doing this for a long time. You could use guides and stuffs if you'd like, but I more or less know not to drill too deep into the actual wood, so I just move a lot quicker by having a little bit more experience. But if you do not have experience, use some tape or something on the drill bit so you know exactly how far you should be going in. Now that we got the pickups in, it's pretty much time to put the actual tuners on. Basically, what I do is I put on the actual tuners. I will put the washer and the lock nut in the front and tightly tighten them so they have a little bit of tension on. And then I'll use something straight, anything that's like straight edged. I'll just push, I'll butt it up against the actual tuners on the left side to hold them straight, to line them up. And then I'll drill pilot holes and then screw those down. And then once I got those all screwed down, I'll turn it around and I'll actually tighten the nuts with a socket. I don't like using ratchets or anything like that because if you tighten it too much, you're actually gonna nick the wood. So I usually hand tighten those, but you would have to have a little bit of a strong grip. If you don't have a strong grip, feel free to use a ratchet. Just always remember not to over tighten them because you will nick the wood. It is wood versus metal. Alrighty, so before closing the pot's cavity cover and putting that plate on, I have 4 wires left to solder. One is for the neck pickup, and the other one is for the bridge pickup. Basically, there's 2 wires each. One is a ground wire, which gets soldered directly onto the back of the pots themselves, and then the other wire is the feed wire from the pickup, which gets soldered to the only open port on one of the pots, and it's usually the pot that has the resistor soldered onto it already. So it's literally that straightforward getting this thing's wiring done. Okay, and there's one last piece, which is the jack input, and that thing also has 2 wires. One is a ground. If you follow the actual metal, you will see that the one that is in the actual loop of the jack input is the ground, and the other open tab is the wire that's shielded. So it's just those 2 wires for the jack input, and we're ready, pretty much ready to screw that jack input plate in place and put the pot's cavity on back on, and put some strings on this bad boy.